Hi, my name is Terry Lee, and this is video 5 in our Memory Keepers series. And in this video, we're going to make the notebook that's going to go in the center of Manila folder B, which is the one we made the gusset in for. We made the gusset in it for the notebook. If you knew what I've been through this morning, you would just not believe it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to print a paper, and we're going to print it on both sides so that our notebook cover has an image on both sides and not just white on the inside. So now our measurements when we get done is going to be 8 inches tall and 5 1/4 inches wide. So we've printed out our paper, and it's 8.5 by 11. But once we trim the paper and take the white off, as you do, I could have done this ahead of time, but I wanted to make my point clear. So you're cutting a little bit off of each side to cut that white off. So then you don't have an 8.5 by 11 anymore, do you? You end up with, I believe, it's a 10 5/8 by 8 1/8. I had to look for that one. I wasn't quite sure. I thought that's what it was. You'd think I would know by now. Okay, so this is not going to be a good size for cutting it down and making our notebook of 8 by 5 1/4. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut 1/8 off of the height to give us 8. I almost did it, didn't I? Did you guys try to stop me? No. Whenever I have a problem, I can never hear you guys. And then we want to make this 10 1/2. So we're going to cut a little bit off of this too. Okay, so now when we fold it in half, we have an 8 by 5 1/4. That almost made my brain hurt. Okay, so now we're going to fold this in half. I've decided to put the roses on the inside and the spots on the roses on the outside because the papers that I've picked to cover each side in here, because we're going to skip over the gusset. I mean, you can make a 3/8 inch piece of paper if you'd like, and put it down the center on both sides, because you see the gusset on the outside too. That's totally up to you. This brown was too much the color of the, I mean, it's not like you're gonna see one next to it. Well, you will, because the paper's shorter. So let's see if I can fix this without ruining it too much. Redo my fold here a little bit. Since I haven't scored it yet, I mean burnished it yet. Well, look at that. She fixed it and the crowd roars. All right, so that's my cover. Now, for the papers, if you want to make a little junk journal, then you go ahead and gather all your interest pages, you know, your maps and your pages and your napkins and all that stuff. I'm going to make a writing journal. Like I said, the purpose of this is to hold letters, okay, and for her to get, my friend's daughter, to get this project with the letters in it when she's 18, so she can read them and read what her family wrote to her when she was born. So I'm going to leave space. I want to make a journal, basically, for my friend to write in to make notes about, I don't know, funny things, important things, things that have happened through her life up until the point she was 18. Okay, so that's my plan. I've got 4 pieces of paper here. So when I fold that in half, that's going to give me 16 pages or so. But I need to cut this down because this is 8.5 by 11. And I want to make it a little bit smaller than the cover. So I want to cut it to, let me look at my numbers here. So I want to make it 7 7/8 by 5 1/8. You like that? Okay. I'm not sure because I sprayed these if I can cut them all at the same time. I guess we'll find out. So what did I say? 7 7/8. I sprayed this with my homemade alcohol spray that has the gold acrylic paint in it, so it's not just red. It's got those little gold sparklies in it too. All right, and then I want this to be 5 1/8. I want it to be double that. So that's going to be 10 1/4. It's going to be a little short, isn't it? Because if we made that 10, that's not right. See, I changed it. 10 1/2. Oh, I want it to be a little bit less than 10 1/2. Let's make it an 1/8. Less than 10 1/2. That's the easiest way I know to do it. Who wants to do all that math at 4:30 in the morning? I don't. Okay. So, hopefully, cross your fingers, when I fold these in half, the height looks about right. So hopefully when I fold these in half, let me double check. Yeah, it'll fit nicely inside the notebook. I may not fold all 4 of these in half at the same time. I can show you without making you watch me do that. I can show you with just the cover. Okay, so now the next step is to measure and install the eyelets. Now, eyelets look like this. My hands are freezing. See how purple my fingertips are? So I wasn't going to be gluing, so I decided to leave the hand warmers on, but I guess I better. Okay, an eyelet looks like this. Let me see if I can get it to lay on its side. Okay, so it looks like a little hat. I don't know if you can see there. Maybe you can see it that way. No. Anyway, it looks like a little hat. And what happens is when you put it in, the nice pretty side is on one side, and then this other side opens up like a flower, and that's what holds it in. So that's what's going to be on the inside here. Now, I'm not sure I really want that. They make eyelets that have like a washer, and then you have that pretty side on both sides. And so I may make the holes to show you how to do it, and then wait. I've got some on order, and wait and put the eyelets in after. Okay, because I can show you the cord as well without having the eyelets in. Okay, so to measure where we want our holes to be, we are going to lay our notebook down where we want it to be, and I decided I want it to be Yeah. When you're looking at your manila folder, you'll see those little lines, the pre-made gusset lines. So I want mine, oh no, because I need room for the hole. So I want mine even with the second line on here. One line, two lines. Okay, let me show you. When you've inked it, you can see the little lines right there. So I'm going to go up one and then two, and then that's where the bottom of my notebook is going to be. And that gives me enough room. We want it to be, the holes to be in the center. So we'll put this just short of the center. We'll take our pencil and very light, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to punch the hole out. So then we want it to be a little bit higher than the width or the height of the notebook. Actually, I'm going to move that back down a little bit. Just kind of finagle yours until you kind of get it where you want it to be. And then mark above just a smidge in the center and make a dot. Mark below a little bit, a smidge, and make a mark in the center of your gusset. All right, now get to break out the crocodile. Put it on the smaller measurement, which is the 1/8. And then you're going to put the manila folder in so that when you push this down, let's see if you can see it. When you push this down, you'll see the hole punch comes out here. If I had set it on the larger setting, the hole punch would have come out the next one over. I'm trying to see because it's backwards to me to make it right for you. So there's two, okay, but I want this smaller one. But to line it up, I partially do it so that this partially comes out so I can see exactly where it's going to go. I love this thing because my hands are not that great. And it's just that easy to go through. Where with a regular hole punch, my light pencil mark is a little too light. Okay, so now if we were going to put the grommets in, the eyelets in, we would use this part of the crocodile. We would put the eyelet in with the flat part on this little dome, and then we would line the hole up that's backwards. You want to put the pretty side, you want the pretty side to be, this is what I discovered is I decided, we'll talk about this later, but I've decided I'm going to change these papers anyway. I don't like this. These are from another kit, and I thought it would be nice to have a neutral in between, you know, where we're going to hook our folders together, but no, that's just not gonna happen. Actually, I should have done the bigger hole. I forgot what size my, yeah, and that made it over a little too far. I do not fancy making this folder again. Okay. Now I put the eyelet in, and I want the pretty side to be on the outside. So I put it in the hole, and then I set this on the setting to do the eyelet. Then I'm going to put it over the top. And then it's set in there. Yeah, I'm not wild about that on the inside, but I definitely don't want that side on the outside. What I do is the same with making the hole. I partially put it down so I know that it's lined up. And then you've got that like that, and boom, you're done. So now all we have to do is run the string through. The reason I'm doing it this way and not sewing it in is because I want her to be able to add pages if she needs to. And so that's why I'm using the thread instead of the sewing it in. So you just put the stretchy thread through the top, then back in through the bottom. You get it to the center, and then you cut some off with your scissors that are not buried under all of your inking supplies. Ha ha. I'm going to be able to tie it and then have a little extra. I can always trim it later. Sometimes mine comes undone. Make it even. And now you want it to be snug. You want to be able to snap it. Okay? Like a guitar string. You want it to be tight. Not so tight that they can't slide the notebook in and out. But tight enough that it stays in. If I can get this tied, it will be a miracle. I have the hardest time I'm not going to make the extra knot yet. All right, so now using just the cover as an example, with the papers and all in half, you just slide it under here. See, I didn't make mine quite far enough. Well, I think it'll work. I might trim just a smidge off the cover. Anyway, and then the notebook stays in there. Okay? And so, let me fold one paper in half. Okay, that is one paper. I thought it was two. Typing paper, once you've sprayed it and made it all crinkly, is not exactly the same. So I'm just going to try to get it really close. Because, you know, technically it's handmade paper. Handmade isn't perfect. So then she can actually slide individual pages in and out. Just lift the elastic up. She could slide pages in and out. Even if maybe that makes it easier for her to write on it. And then you have your papers in there. Now remember, you only have a 3/8 inch gusset. So you don't want to make it too big. You don't want to make it so big that that your book won't close. Because remember, you're hooking A to this. And then you're going to hook C to that. Okay? So that's all there is to it to make in the notebook. just kind of keep an eye on your measurements. And if you have a pattern where you want to keep it even, then you're going to have to cut a little bit off one end and a little bit off the other end, and to make it work and make the pattern stay even. You want to print the paper on both sides. And if you got the 2 kits that I recommended, one of them is an actual journal pages, and the other one is the big solid without the line in the middle pages. And then there's like 14 pages of ephemera, which I printed out. All right. Well, here's journal pages. And, are you ready? This is all the ephemera. So I don't think you're going to run out. These little labels are from something else, and I don't think I'm going to use them. I thought they would maybe match, but they don't. Anyway, so that's that. And you've got your little notebook, and you're all ready to go. And in the next video, we're going to decorate folder B, and we're going to put the envelopes in, like our letter stack, but envelope stack, but it won't be, because it's only going to be 2 envelopes. So it won't be a full stack. It'll be a half stack, like, what is that, pancakes? Have a half stack. All right, enough bad jokes. I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye-bye.